Hi, and welcome to episode 4 in our series, What Should Newbie E-Bike Purchasers Ask Themselves Before They Spend That Hard-Earned Money? Hi, I'm Arnie J, and this is E-Bike Life with Arnie J. And, if you're into e-bikes and you like going for rides and you want to see accessory reviews and all of that stuff, why don't you consider subscribing? Just click that big red subscribe button, click the bell icon, and then tell YouTube that you want to see all of the new episodes. Give us a thumbs up, leave comments, any of that stuff we do appreciate because it does help tell YouTube that people are interested, and they kind of boost us a little bit, and we do appreciate that. So, excuse me, episode 4. The fourth thing that you might ask yourself if you're just getting into the life, as I like to call it these days, what's the maximum distance you plan to travel on a single charge? Understanding your desired range is crucial when you're choosing the right e-bike for your needs. So, what am I talking about when I that's the e-bike range is the distance your bicycle, your e-bike, can travel given the capacity and of your battery, basically. I mean, it does depend on a variety of things. New purchasers, by the way, can you tell my new hat here? At eBike Life, YouTube, with Arnie J. Styling. Anyway, I was saying, what were we talking about? Oh, range, and it depends upon so many different factors. And people new to the e-bikes often ask very generalized, how far can I go? Well, it varies depending on so many factors, including battery capacity, the power of your motor, the terrain, your weight, actually your physical stature. Somebody my size, 6'8", we create. There's a lot more drag when I'm on the bicycle than my wife when she, at 5'5". So you have to keep that in consideration as well. The amount of assistance you're using. If most e-bikes have like 5 levels from no assistance all the way up to max, and if you're using max, which is level 5 or whatever the terminology, on my bike on a Cube Kathmandu, they call it turbo, you're gonna go through your battery a heck of a lot faster than if you're at, say, at the very lowest level, whatever that might be on whatever bike you are looking at. So it's the minimum amount of assistance that you can get. So you're going to be able to go farther. Obviously, you have to exert more effort to do it. So, these are things that you have to consider. To determine the range you require, consider your typical riding habits. Now, this is kind of assuming a little bit that you are riding, but if you already have a bicycle, a non-electric bike, then you have something to go by. But are you planning short daily commutes? You're just going a mile or two on your bike to go to work. Are you going on longer recreational rides? If you've been here at all, you know that I go on some very long rides, daily rides. I don't usually do multi-day trips. But if you're doing that kind of stuff, or even multi-day trips, those are the things that you're going to have to keep in your mind as you're going through this. Knowing your intended distance is going to help you determine the appropriate battery capacity and range capabilities of the bikes that you're looking at. I have used this example in other videos, but some people who are, into motorhoming and that kind of stuff will buy a little folding thing that doesn't have very much battery capacity, because all they're doing is kind of riding around the camping area and maybe to the store that's, somewhere in the vicinity. They don't need much to do that. So, that's something to keep in mind. Now, something to consider. If you're looking online and you're doing your due diligence, e-bike manufacturers will often estimate the range you can get. It'll say, some between these two numbers. Take that with a grain of salt. That's under ideal conditions. If you're riding, you should be keeping, as I mentioned, there's some of the things I already talked about, but are you riding on hilly terrain? Are you riding at top speed? Are there strong headwinds? Are you carrying heavy loads? All of these things are going to impact the mileage you get. I mean, it's, you get right down to it. It's no different than driving a car, and you put gas in it, and how do you, if you're heavy-footed, you're going to burn more gas. If you're driving a big behemoth pickup truck that's got huge tires and all this other whatever, then you're going to use more fuel. Same thing holds true with a battery-powered bike. So just keep all of these things in mind. If you're planning to go longer distances, take longer rides, you might want to consider e-bikes that have batteries with a bigger capacity. You might even want to do bikes that have a 2-battery configuration, or in the very least buying an extra battery so you have that along with you, which is something that I have done when I had my Rad Rover. I would carry 2 batteries, and I just haven't done that with my Cube yet because those Bosch batteries are a lot more expensive. So thinking about that, so obviously you can conserve battery life by using less assistance. You can conserve by, working harder, reducing your speed, things like that. So, determining the max distance that you want to be able to ride is going to help you make an appropriate decision on the bike that you buy. Some of this stuff should seem pretty obvious, I think. So think about those kinds of things, the terrain, the challenges that you might face, the distances that you might have to go. Keep all that stuff fresh in your mind. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, right up here, you will find the playlist, link to the playlist, and I'll have that down below as well, so you can check out those other things. Thanks for stopping by. You've been watching eBike Life with Arnie J. Do appreciate it. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already. Click that thumbs up and leave comments. All of this stuff is appreciated, and as I mentioned at the beginning, it helps so much. Thanks again. We will see you next time. Thanks a lot.